This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Jordan Gower, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, and Ashlee Bradley. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Andrea A. and Kay to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we are talking about Chapter 3 of The Gathering Storm.
Yeah, Chapter 3 is The Ways of Honor.
I almost didn't get that book title.
Yeah, that was close.
I got it. I remembered it.
You know, we're early on. You have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, The Ways of Honor. Here we go.
Yes.
Little dabbling into the whole what the heck is going on with Avienda.
Right. And this is our last recording of 2023.
That's true.
And when this episode comes out, it will be January 2024.
Amazing.
How about that?
Okay.
Can you believe it?
That's exciting.
Certainly. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're taking a little bit of a break from packing and cleaning because we leave on a road trip to go to the mountains tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we're going there for New Year's.
Yes.
But yeah, so here we are recording this instead of getting ready.
Yeah, we're going to keep this one tight. It's one chapter. We can do it.
Yep.
So I figured for this fun fact, I can do a little bit of Brandon Sanderson information here.
Okay.
Yeah, we've talked about how he got involved in the series, how that all came down, but I want to talk a little bit more about the journey of him actually getting involved and starting to write the actual books.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, because there's some fun details here. So, with the actual process and the timeline of the events that led to the release of the book, Robert Jordan passed away September 16th, 2007, and then The Gathering Storm was released October 27th, 2009, so just over 2 years. So for everything to kind of come around within 2 years, very quick turnaround here. And now one of the first things he did was publicly reread the series, which lasted from February until March of 2008. So Robert Jordan passed away in the fall, and then by early next year, he was already rereading, and then he posted his thoughts publicly on his blog so people could follow along with his reread.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's actually on his website, brandonsanderson.com.
Cool.
Now, then we get into the original word count targets for A Memory of Light. So keeping in mind, it was supposed to be one book. So the original estimate for the last book was about 200,000 words, which is obviously didn't happen.
Way less. It's like a million, isn't it?
A little bit over that, yeah.
For the last 3 books, it's like a million words.
Yeah, so the original word count was supposed to be around 200,000 words. Then immediately that got increased to 250,000.
Oh, gee, thanks.
So the rereads happened February to March, and then by April, so basically a month after rereading was complete, the amount of plot lines that need to be resolved and moving the word counts, it jumped from 250 to 400,000 words. And then by October of that year, so, from spring to fall, the word count actually stayed the same, still at 400,000 words. However, by March of the following year, so March 30th of 2009, Tor Books confirmed that A Memory of Light was going to be split into 3 volumes, and somewhere in that timeline, they're like, yeah, it's going to be closer to 750,000 words.
Yeah, okay.
So just literally in Robert Jordan fashion.
Love that, yep.
Lie about the amount of words you're going to write.
Or just, have a different preconception of what it might be, and then just get, really into it.
Yeah. It's going to be 3 books.
I
maybe
wouldn't say
4,
it was
maybe
a
6
lie.
books. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna say a bunch of liars.
No. Okay, that's funny though.
Yeah.
I have something to share though before we get into Chapter 3.
Oh, okay.
Because we released Chapter 2, that episode.
Right, with Egwene.
On Patreon. And we've had a couple of our patrons kind of reach out and give their opinions on the whole forcing Aes Sedai to swear an oath on the oath rod to obey the Amyrlin.
Right, because we compared
was sort of
it.
How do other people feel about this? Because, I don't know. I want to be on Egwene's side, but how much is it that different, right?
Sure.
That's
So
what
like the Elida versus
Mhm.
Egwene, are they really that different? What are the differences?
And so one of the comments I actually wanted to share, just to give a different perspective that we didn't actually get to talk about.
Sure.
So Jonathan is very adamant that the oath rod is the distinction between the two.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
So he says by swearing the oath on the rod, they're magically bound to never break that oath. Whether or not they want to, they would be compelled not to. And
Okay.
they'd have to do whatever the Amyrlin asks them to do. And so where Egwene is different, it's that she never forced the oaths on the rod. Meaning that if they don't want to honor it, then they couldn't have spoken those words in the first place.
Yeah, so that's a fair comparison because it's like forcing the words to come out of your mouth whether or not you want to. That's kind of what Elida is alluding to for everyone. But then Egwene had the few people who were like, okay, we'll be loyal for whatever the reasons they're going to be loyal. And then, yeah, technically we didn't have the swearing on the actual oath rod.
No, just people who had already sworn not to lie.
Right, so then they can't lie about the oath they're giving.
But we do know they have workarounds, like Baonin, for example.
Yeah.
They're able to justify that the oath no longer applies, so they don't have to obey her.
Right, but then you're looking at loopholes. So I feel like
for sure.
It's like a degree of separation here for sure.
And
but how big that degree is
I know. Well, and that's kind of my point too.
Yeah.
But the thing I liked the most that he said was by asking sisters to swear an oath of fealty of their own free will, then that changes things. Because everybody who did swear to Egwene had the choice to either face the Hall of the Tower or serve Egwene.
Yeah.
And they got to sort of weigh their options there.
Fair.
And at least there was like a semblance of choice.
Yeah,
like if you really don't want to obey Egwene or the Amyrlin or whoever.
I mean, I suppose you could put that
to.
You could put that matter to the test with Elida too, and say, hey, you have the option: swear on the oath rod to obey the Amyrlin, or don't be Aes Sedai,
or
so
die.
Yeah, like you have options,
you have
but like
a choice.
How good are my choices here? So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
again, it's a matter for argument, and I love that. So
yeah. No, I do.
Okay.
I've liked the
different
justifications and stuff because it's coming in being like, okay, and I like that one because it's a touch in favor for Egwene.
I think we can firmly be on Egwene's side still.
I can be on Egwene's side.
We're good. I don't feel that bad about it yet.
I don't feel bad about being not on Elida's side. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Just the indignation that Egwene has is just beyond.
It's a little bit too much. Like
it's just way too much. Like she's like, I can't believe anyone would ever even dream of doing such a thing. And it's like, Egwene, you did that.
Yeah, you're like half a step there, a little bit of like 2 weeks ago. It's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, she should have been like, oh, yikes. This is kind of a wake-up call for me.
Yeah.
And probably this is bad.
This is why.
Yeah. I don't know, something like that. But
yeah.
All right, so let's get into chapter 3.
Okay.
The ways of honor. And our chapter symbol is the Aiel shield and spears.
Right.
And we are going to enter in an Avienda perspective, which, initially, I was very excited about.
Ooh, okay. You don't like the whole... What's wrong with Avienda's honor? What's happening here?
I'm sure there are some things in here you're going to help me.
I mean, if you're confused, Avienda's very confused, so.
I'm not very confused. I was just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get to Rand.
Well, okay. Well, hold up a minute. We got to get to Rand first.
I thought we were going to get to him.
Okay.
I thought that's what this was going to be. That they're getting to Rand. But no, we're still getting to Rand.
Yes, yeah.
Before we can get to Rand.
Right.
So.
Now you get it.
Not as interesting or exciting.
Sure.
Perhaps.
Okay. Let's pull the information out of it that we got to pull out of it.
Okay, fine.
And then we can go finish packing.
All right. So, okay. So Avienda is crouching on a hill with some of the maidens.
Yeah.
And the True Blood Aiel.
Yeah.
Now, have we heard of the True Blood Aiel before?
So, like, yeah, technically they're one of the societies. You know how there's like, okay, so
Because this sounds like they might be vampires.
They're not, I can assure you they are not vampires.
Because... You know, there's a show
True Blood
called True Blood.
Yeah, these are True Bloods. These
based on a series of novels.
Right.
This isn't that.
No, okay.
That's all I can think of.
With the whole...
They say True Blood several times in this chapter.
Yeah, so here's the deal. For the past, 11 books, we typically, for the most part, only ever hear about the
let me see
societies.
Okay, yeah. Goshen, Are you? Oh no, you're not quizzing me.
No.
Oh, okay, shoot.
No,
Okay,
I
never
was just
mind.
gonna
No,
say
go
like
on.
the typical ones.
Yeah.
And that's not a warrior society.
Oh, Tardad?
Also
that
not a
one?
society, no.
Oh, so True Blood isn't the same as that?
No, it's like the Red Shields, right? Or the Stone Dogs, or the Maidens of the Spear, and we have heard of the Thunder Walkers. But like for the most part, we don't really hear very much
Okay, well
about
now I'm just...
yeah,
Nope.
societies.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, I don't, but that's okay.
Okay.
We can just pretend that I got it. So we
Think
can
of it
move
like,
on.
they're like a union. Like you're in the teachers
Yeah,
union, you'd be a teacher union
Yeah,
person.
got it.
Right.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, you get it. I'm glad we cleared that up. It's not
sure.
a clan, it's not a sept, right?
Right.
It's a society.
Society.
Yeah, it's not a hold.
Okay.
I don't know what you're confused about.
Oh, literally nothing. So,
All right.
I've never been confused. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Great.
That doesn't happen to me. Never.
Okay, so maidens are here.
Yeah.
Some of the True Blood IL are here.
Yeah.
They're just scouting around.
They're scouting around.
Looking at all the refugees coming out of Aerodama.
A big group of refugees. And now, I do want to say that I genuinely felt like I was in Avienda's head.
Right.
So, if we're going back and forth about whether or not Brandon Sanderson is like writing these characters appropriately,
Sure.
yeah, felt it good here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's just very confused as to why these people are so stupid.
Right.
Not even worried about danger.
Oh, yeah, it's like, oh, they're so careless when they travel. They clearly haven't spotted us watching them,
Ugh.
and they don't have scouts of their own going out and scouting before everyone comes.
That's the problem with cities.
That's the problem with the dang cities. That's what I've been saying, is that's the
the
problem.
whole time.
If everyone was just like Aiel, you could be like running around, don't use horses.
You
'cause
gotta
then
be
you're-
nomadic.
Exactly.
You gotta be ready to pick up and move
Everybody.
at a moment's notice.
Everybody, and that's how the Aiel,
you wouldn't
do
have
things.
to bury your tools anywhere.
Exactly. Oh my
You'd
god,
just be ready to go. You'd bring them.
You'd have like a to-go set.
Yeah.
All your tools would be to-go versions.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, but also I do like this viewpoint because she takes a step back and she's like, okay, hold on. I have a first sister, Elaine, who really cares about poor people sometimes. So
Yes.
what would she
would
do?
Elaine
What would
think of
she do
this?
in this situation?
She would help them.
Well, it's okay, but like asterisk to it, because she's like, she would feed them, she'd take care of the refugees, she'd help them, she'd maybe use her troops to find a place for them to live.
And like, would she?
But then, this is the catch to it, she's like, and then in doing so, she might acquire a piece of land of this country for herself.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's like literally,
Okay.
she would take a little area and be like, this is mine now.
Okay.
This is part of Andor, and you're all Andor, and thank you.
And they'd all be like, cool, thanks.
Because it's like, here you go, I helped you, now give me some of your land.
Maybe we should just like call Elaine on the telephone
Yeah.
and tell her this plan.
Magical telephone, be like,
Hey.
got some land for you if you're interested.
Yeah. Just come on over. Bunch of wandering refugees.
Just come and take advantage.
They're dirty
Oh, wait.
and hungry. Yeah.
Wait, we're not supposed to.
Help them.
Okay.
Okay, but now Avienda does feel sorry for these refugees, and that's the point.
Yes, because she's learning. She's evolving as a person.
She's trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's honor in caring for those who can't take care of themselves.
Okay.
It's like kind of a nice.
Okay.
She's like, okay, yeah.
Sure. Now, this entire chapter is underscored by Avienda's lost identity.
Oh, yes. Okay, that's a good point.
She really isn't too sure exactly where she fits in.
Yep.
And what she should be doing.
Definitely.
In this moment, because we learn later the fact that she's scouting here isn't what she should be doing. But
yeah, I guess
it's
not.
what she
is doing.
like usually does.
Yeah.
And wants to do.
Yeah.
And she spent a lot of time away from the Aiel with Elaine, where she really gets to do mostly what she wants to do all the time.
There's not a lot of people checking in on her.
No, and then like punishing her for
yeah,
like not doing the right thing.
Right.
And so she's kind of having to relearn boundaries about being a Wise One apprentice.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. And that is the undertones, like you said. So everything we talk about, just like always be thinking about that too.
Always be thinking about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Because now Avienda thinks about how these types of problems never used to be something that she would think about.
Right. That was not her job as a maiden. That's
never.
Like, yeah, that's roof mistress stuff. That's chief stuff. That's like Wise One stuff.
Wise One stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now she's like, well, I got to start thinking about that.
Yep.
But also not a wise one yet, technically.
Yeah, so that's hard too.
So like, I can't, you don't overstep but like also don't understep,
But also, they're not even teaching her anything, so
That's
she's
true.
pissed off.
Yeah.
Where are my lessons?
That's confusing to everybody involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that these are the lessons. Are they not?
What are the lessons?
Well, okay, maybe we'll talk about that near the end. Because I'm pretty sure the fact that she went off to scout and then came back, like, she shouldn't have done that. And that's a lesson.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
Because she's like, they're not even teaching me. And it's like, well...
What are you getting punished for? Like, what is she getting punished for?
Because she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And I think she's getting punished because she can't figure it out.
Right. Okay. Okay, let's talk about it when we get there, because we got a couple things, and that's a fair point. So, first off, we got Hearn.
Yep.
And we know this guy.
Okay.
So, he's the Sept chief of the Jindo Aiel.
Okay.
The Jindo are a Sept of the Tardad, Avienda's Tardad.
Okay.
And Ruark is clan chief of the Tardad.
Okay.
So, Tardad is one of the clans. Jindo's one of the Septs.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm glad I cleared that up for you.
Okay.
Anyways, he's like, refugees.
Those refugees are not a threat.
Nope.
Leave them be.
But.
Ruark is eyeing them.
Yeah. He's maybe.
Like, well, the dead are walking and random evil things are happening, so we should be careful.
Yeah, because it's like, well, maybe they're refugees, but maybe they're ghosts.
Ooh. But
right?
You know what? We all know right now, those ghosts ain't bothering anyone.
Yeah, but you also might get, like, sucked into the ground, like some people. We don't know what they've seen.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, all sorts of weird things are happening. Let's just, like, stay away just in case.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah. But Avienda does kind of, like, get a spider tingle about the dead and stuff like that, she thinks.
Okay.
She's like, she's not getting that spider tingle right now from these people. So probably just, like, regular refugees.
Okay.
Like the Spidey sense,
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, like something's weird, something's off about those people down there.
She's like, no, those people are normal.
She's not getting that vibe from these people.
No, and we get a really big explanation about how, even though it's like late for spring and we should have more growth,
right?
She still thinks that this is like very luscious area.
Like compared to the waste.
Compared to the literal desert.
Yeah. She's like, this land would be scooped up immediately by Aiel to farm.
This would be the farmland.
And this is like one hill amongst many that are just like abandoned.
Not abandoned. Not even
like never been had. So
it's just pure.
Just a hill, man.
Countryside.
Yeah. It's too much of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe things aren't as bad as everyone's complaining about,
No, I think it's pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that it's pretty bad, Brett.
Sure.
I think that this whole, what's it called? Last battle?
Right.
Something like that?
Yeah.
I think that's coming soon.
Battle to grow crops too.
Uh-huh.
Turns out.
Uh-huh, yeah. So now Avienda and the small group of Aiel move off from the hill and they just start running. And it's interesting, this entire thing happens while they're running. And I keep kept forgetting to picture that.
Yep.
While it's like, okay, all of this.
Yeah.
Just running.
Now just imagine
and conversing.
The lady on the cover of The Gathering Storm is Avienda, and she's just running the whole time in that getup.
Just running.
Yeah.
Just running.
Well, they're Aiel. That's what they do.
I know.
That's the whole thing, right?
Just felt like running.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Since we're running, we got to think about Rand. Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, are we going to get to Rand?
No, we're just going to think about him. We're going to think about him, and we're thinking about feelings.
She's super determined to marry him. And then we get an entire recap session about her feelings for him.
Yeah.
And his feelings for her.
His terrible proposal.
Whoever heard of a man proposing?
Well, yeah. Do you remember the proposal?
Ridiculous. Well, yeah, it was right after they did it in the igloo.
Yeah, and he's like,
I guess we have to get married now.
Yeah, married.
And she was like, what the heck? No.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Anyways, but I actually think that this is a very interesting perspective that she has on the roles of the Aiel, like how the women propose.
Yeah.
So she has a lot of the same thought. I feel like RJ's, like, even in the concept of it, there's like the flip-flop, right? Of what you're supposed to bring to the table in marriage, because she specifically thinks like, hey, I don't have anything of, like, I'm not a person of value right now because I'm not a maiden.
Like, I wouldn't be a respectful wife.
Yeah, like I'm
basically a no one.
I'm a wise one apprentice, and what could I possibly bring to the table and offer as a lowly wise one apprentice in this marriage? And I don't want him viewing me as an inferior in this relationship. So like she has to.
So I can't marry him until
not going to happen.
I'm doing something better.
Exactly. Like, maybe when she is a wise one, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the bar, and then she's equal, I suppose.
Okay. Now, she does think here about how she's in a very strange situation with the Wise Ones right now.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the Wise Ones are treating her with less respect than they did before. And she clearly missteps somehow in their eyes. And she can't really figure out
Yeah.
what's wrong.
Like, yeah, and what is wrong. And that's the tricky part.
Right.
So,
and now, is it not honorable to ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Like, literally, you're not supposed to ask what you did wrong. You're supposed to know it. And if you don't know it, you need to reflect on it until you do know it.
Okay, and then this adds to her dismay.
Right.
Because she's like, until I figure this out, I couldn't possibly be honorable enough to bring a bridal wreath to Rand.
Yeah.
Wreath to Rand. That's
wreath
hard
to
to
Rand,
say.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so she can't just go and ask, like, okay, I don't know, tell me what I did wrong, because then you're not only admitting that you don't know.
You don't know what you did wrong.
Yeah.
And how can you properly atone for it if you haven't
Well, and you're
recognized
supposed to
it?
know. That's the whole honor system, is you're supposed to know the honor code, and you're supposed to live to that. So if you're saying you don't, then you're putting it on the other person to call you out on it, and that's dishonorable to call someone out on it.
Oh,
like that's
that's
like a double bad thing. Like, oh my goodness, you can't.
Yeah.
So, geez.
Hard time, man.
Anyways.
It's hard.
So you just start to ask leading questions and make little comments and then try and figure it out.
Well, yeah.
Well, because she's like, because it's the scouting thing, yeah? And she's like, no. He's like,
Okay, you're jumping ahead.
Right, okay.
All right, so now they're going to meet up with another group of Aiel, and Ruark goes to meet up with the Wise Ones, and Aviendha follows.
Yeah.
And now it's our good old-fashioned crew.
For the most part.
We haven't seen these lovely people in a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while, because these were Egwene's teachers, right? Like the Dream World,
three of them.
Dreamwalker teachers?
Yeah, Amisbear Mullane.
Yes.
But there's also Nadir here.
Oh, she's not supposed
Nadir's,
to be?
well, no, she's not one.
Normally 4?
Well, yeah, but one of them died during the Dragar attack way back. Like, way back.
What's a Dragar?
Drakar?
Drakar.
The vampire bat monsters that suck your souls.
Oh, see, I knew there were vampires.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the OG, like, original 4 Wise Ones died.
Oh.
Right? And then Nadir is the one who summoned Elaine for the first sister ceremony, so she's only recently been introduced in the last several books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Amisbear and Mullane, though.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And in case you are confused
Yeah.
about how little time has passed, Mullane is just now starting to show a pregnancy bump.
Yeah.
And we found out she was pregnant with twins a very long time ago, it feels like.
Yeah, to be fair, like, we did get the early warning system of Min.
Yes.
Min was the one who was like, hey.
Didn't she also kind of know already, I thought?
I think she, like, maybe suspected.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is
very
little time has passed,
Yeah.
and if I'm expecting Elaine to be showing now, no, I'm wrong.
Right.
Because that happened, like, after.
Elaine's been pregnant for, like, 3 days.
Yeah.
It's like, no time.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's, like, literally been no time.
Right.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, Aviendha feels super weird because she's here, because now she's like, should I be here? I don't know, but now I can't leave, because then should I leave? And, well, will they see me leaving, and is that going to be even more weird if I leave now?
She's just in a rough spot.
Yeah, it's like, it's a tricky one.
Yeah, so she's just going to wait and listen.
Yep,
to
and
the
then
Wise Ones.
it's gonna go well. So let's talk about what's going on here.
Okay, but before we do that, let's take a very quick break.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
Just a real quick drink refill, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back.
Yeah, I looked it up real quick because I couldn't remember the name. So the original 4 Wise Ones were Amisbear, Mullane, and then Sienna.
Oh.
Yeah, and she is the one who gets killed off.
That doesn't even ring a bell.
No, and because, like, she dies in the Shadow Rising with the Drakar attack. And then there's only 3 for a long time. But now there's 4 again. Yay!
Okay.
I guess. It's cool.
Yep.
Pour one out.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was so long ago. It's fine.
It was years ago.
Yeah. For us.
It was a year ago. It was
for us,
6 months
that was
ago.
a long time ago.
Who's to say?
Yep. Okay, so we're back to Aviendha feeling weird that she's kind of intruding on this conversation, but nobody's telling her to leave, and so she just stands here and listens. So the Wise Ones are asking Ruark what's going on, and he tells them that it's just another band of stinky refugees, and apparently it's like the 10th group that they've seen in less than a week.
Yes. Yeah, there's been a lot, right?
Now,
from
there are
Eridon,
rumors
so.
of the Shan attacking the harbors to the west, and so they're assuming that maybe people are moving inland to avoid all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is where it's going to get confusing, too, based on Rand's orders and what the Aiel are supposed to do and how they're supposed to accomplish it, so.
Well, because Rand's orders are clear, but also really not very clear.
Yeah. Well, they're too vague.
Yeah, so Rand wants them to, quote, restore order.
Right.
But they're not city guards.
Right.
And they're not allowed to conquer anything, so they don't get the 5th, so that's not a lot of motivation for them.
No. And also, they're not allowed to, like...
They're not Shido, so they're not going to take a bunch of Wetlanders as Guy Shine.
Yeah, and also Rand told them not to kill, like, Eridaman troops. So,
Right.
like, they can't kill anyone. So it's like, what are we supposed to do?
How exactly
Yeah.
am I restoring order? Yeah.
Yeah, like, just go in and...
Enforcing non-existent laws in
Right.
the middle of this.
And they're not going to take them
field.
prisoners. They can't kill them. They can't do anything.
Just restore it.
Yeah,
Restore the order.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Rand's also kind of stuck in this limbo land because he's trying to conquer, but also trying to, like, make a peace treaty with the Shanshan. It's a tricky, it's hard. It's difficult.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially for these guys who
they're
are
confused.
like, I don't know.
Yeah. What do we do? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, so Rourke leaves and the wise ones focus in on Avienda.
Yeah, because she's just here now.
Yeah, and is like, hey, how many wise ones do you know who go and scout? Huh, Avienda?
Yeah, well, first they call her out on it, but
yeah,
like
that's
subtly.
what I mean. They're saying
No, because they're like, hey, how many wise ones went? And then Avienda's like, none but me. And Bear's like, oh, you're a wise one now.
Oh,
okay. Because she's not a wise one.
Snap! She fell for it.
Yeah, she did. She fell
took
right
the
in.
bait.
She did.
Oh.
Yeah, fell right into it. And then she's like, actually, no, I'm not. But like,
And she's
whoops.
like sad face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Bear's like punished.
Punished. Get your punishment.
Do you get your punishment now?
Yeah.
You're not a maiden anymore, and you should not be scouting. And here, we're gonna get a lot of Avienda's intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
They start out with Avienda wondering if she thinks that the wise ones think that she grew soft by spending time with Elaine. And then she's like, oh, maybe it's true because I do like baths and silks and frilly dresses with embroidery.
She really likes when Elaine dresses her up fancy
I really
and
do
stuff.
like that.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah. Okay, except that I was wrong before, and turns out now is the time they actually start running.
Oh, okay.
But they start running now, and then
they were running.
Continue.
They stopped for a little bit, and then they're running again.
Then they're running again. Yeah.
There's like a very short break of non-running.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, you're right.
Okay. So, while they're running, Amis asks Avienda about Rand's task for the Aiel in Eridoman here.
Yeah, and again, this kind of seems like Wise One training. It's like, hey, tell me what you think about these things.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it's not really, though. I think that
training,
Amis is really just kind of prying a little bit because she knows Avienda's close to Rand.
Sure.
Right?
Sure, but I mean, at one point, too, she's like, hey, I'm not asking you what you think. I'm asking what you, as a wise one, would think. Like, it is a bit of a quiz of, like, how do you deal with this? I think more of a lesson
would be like, here are some things that we think of this.
Sure. Okay, maybe right? I'm going to change what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
It's not a lesson so much as it is like a quiz almost.
Ooh, okay. Like a testing?
A little bit. Like she's trying to see what Avienda thinks and why she thinks it.
Okay, because I was going to say bad lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Avienda isn't learning anything from this.
Yeah.
She doesn't know if she's doing good or bad, and, like, that's a bad lesson.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but, okay, maybe more of a testing.
Yeah, let's do that. And she doesn't get her grade yet, so she doesn't know if she did well.
No, she's not going to know that, which is, like, that's normal for teachers. That's fine. Now, Avienda does say she thinks that Rand has some really weird ideas about things, and this probably won't be the weirdest thing that he makes them do, and we all just sort of have to accept that.
Right.
But as for Ruark, he's probably just relaying information that he's heard from others and passing it along.
Yeah, and, like, he doesn't want to call anyone out specifically, but, like, as a leader, you want to kind of let the other people know about the mutterings that you're hearing so we can all be on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. And that's a pretty good read from Avienda.
I think so too. Yeah. I think she passed.
And she's probably right that Rand is going to make them do weird things.
Definitely. Like, and we all just kind of have to accept it.
Just got to go with it.
That's the point here.
No, he's not going to tell you the whole plan. This is just your part.
I don't even think Rand knows the whole plan.
That's the way to do it, though.
That's really what's
Smart.
going on here.
Then nobody can steal your plans because you don't have one.
You don't even have any.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So Amis switches gears and is like, yeah, about that Rand guy.
Yeah, what do you
Tell
think?
me about that.
What are your thoughts?
Eh? And Avienda's like, well, I love him. But Amis is like, I don't care about your personal feelings
Not
for
like
Rand.
that, yeah.
I want to know your wise one opinion of Rand. And then that's where Avienda's like, well, you know what? Rand is a man of many burdens, and he probably makes those issues bigger than they have to be.
Right. That's a good read.
And it doesn't seem like he's figured out that his hardness actually doesn't equal strength.
Yeah.
Like, that's the hardest part there.
And again, like, pretty good reads on Rand as a character.
Yes.
He does make a bigger deal of some things than they need to be. And sometimes he procrastinates or doesn't do things he should do to handle problems that he has. And then, like, frets about them way too long.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And then he does the whole, like, ooh, you know, I'm going to become even stronger and tougher than I was before.
Yeah.
But it's like, that doesn't make
Hard
you...
as steel.
Right.
Is
and
that
it's like,
the chapter?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Something like that.
No tears from steel.
No, that was... Well, okay, that was maybe more directed towards even Semirog, but...
Yeah.
But also him. It's a two-way street.
No,
like,
because he's steel.
He's steel, but you can't get tears.
Can't get tears.
I mean, you know, Semirog's also
steel.
kind of steel. Can't get tears from her or something.
What?
It was like a double edge. There's two ways to look
No,
at it.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think that's part of it.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay.
I don't care. It's fine.
Okay, but then Avienda's like, well, you know what? I'm going to marry him. I will marry him.
Right.
And then we get this whole conversation about how Avienda's going to deal with navigating a relationship with Rand, Elaine, and Min. But that's like her problem to figure out.
Yeah, and she does kind of say that. She's like,
and I like how she's like, well, I have my first sister, Elaine, and I love her, and we get along, and everything's really great, and then I guess there's just Min.
Yeah, and it'll be fine.
And
it's
I'm
fine.
Judy. That's Min. No, you don't know that
no,
one?
I don't know that
That's
one.
like SNL. It's like a Kristen Wiig skit.
I don't know that one. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, poor
Well,
Min.
it sounds hilarious.
Except that Min is the one who's like banging around the most.
Yeah, well, she's
the only one in a like legitimate relationship with Rand at the moment.
Well, I mean, does Elaine and Avienda really even need Rand?
No, they're fine on their own.
Yeah.
I really don't think that they need Rand.
I think they're good. I think they got the bases covered.
Just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
He can assist in the baby making, but leave the rest of the door, man.
Yeah. Well, Avienda's like, I guess I'll just like learn to like her.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or you won't. Just don't spend a lot of time with her.
Yeah.
Spend time with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It all seems stupid. All right. Now, Avienda thinks about this tricky situation between all of them because Min's viewing didn't technically guarantee that Avienda would marry Rand.
Right.
And when she's explaining to the wise one, she's very confident. I will marry him.
Yeah. And I appreciate that because she wants to.
And so she says to them, you know what? Okay, correction.
Right.
I don't know for certain that we'll marry, but I do know that we'll be together.
Well, and
Rand
also
will
that's
love
not...
us, and we'll love him, and that's basically all I know.
It's not even that clear on that
And I'm kind
level.
of hoping that we all just get to marry him.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're hoping it all works out, and you know what, Amis? It's not your problem, and it's not your... I'm
Except
gonna deal
that
with
it kind of is.
But it's not, though.
But it kind of is.
But Avienda is like, I don't actually... Like, she doesn't actually have to fill Amis in on any of this information. Like, she doesn't have to.
No.
Because this is like a personal relationship stuff that doesn't necessarily...
Yeah, but it's with Rand.
Yeah, but you don't have to do... You can do the...
I still think she kind of has to share.
Okay. Well, Amis doesn't prod. Like, she just not... She's like,
Avienda
okay.
is sharing really freely. It's not like she's like, I wish I didn't have to share this information.
Yeah.
Like, she shares it. No problem. So.
Okay. I just don't think there would be punishment if she didn't want to, like, reveal a lot about her personal relationship.
No, but they want to know.
Yeah, I mean, they want to know everything.
Yeah.
They're wise ones.
I know.
You don't become a wise one without wanting to know everything.
Well, I think that Avienda gets that part too.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's talk about the punishment for today, because she doesn't know what's going on or why, but here we go.
Yeah. So because Avienda doesn't know the whole issue, or even, like, any of it, she sort of carefully is like, yes, I should be punished. My time in Camelin threatened to make me weak?
Yeah, question mark? Is that it?
And Amis is like, no, you're not weak. You're actually stronger than you were as a maiden. Plus, your time with your first sister was super important.
Yeah. It's like, no,
and
not
then
at all.
this does not clear anything up for Avienda.
Yeah, she's like, not that. Not that. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I think that...
What's the problem?
I think that she needs to be punished because she's accepting the punishment, maybe. Like, maybe if she stopped accepting the punishments, then she wouldn't have any...
This sounds literally like the whole wise one thing, or no, not the Aes Sedai thing we talked about last chapter.
About what?
Like the Chimaran thing where she's like, oh, she was demoted because she accepted being demoted.
Yes, yeah. It's like,
feels
maybe
like
she's like less...
Feels like you're taking that.
She's not honorable because she just keeps on accepting punishments.
Okay.
And so maybe they're like, you clearly still think you need to be punished, so we're just going to keep
dishing it out.
And if she's just like, no, my toe has been met, there's nothing to be punished for, then they'd be like, yes, okay, maybe.
Okay. I mean, it's a theory.
No, okay,
it's a theory.
So there is actually something I should know? It's
not
that?
Not necessarily. I'm just saying, like, this is one of those where it's like, okay, I get your rationale.
Because that's what I was feeling like this whole time. If Aviendha has no idea why she's being punished, and they're like, it's time for your punishment, she's like, okay. And
it's like, she's just letting us do this.
Yeah,
like, what is she doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, she must have something that she feels really guilty about.
Right.
That she really needs to...
Ooh, like, I'm just going to punish because I'm going to act like I know the thing you know.
Well, they're like, okay, you need to be punished. And she's like, yes, I do.
Okay.
And they're like, gotcha. Yeah.
So all Aviendha needs to do is be like,
no.
Nope. And they'll be like,
no punishment.
Cool.
And they're going to be like, now
Done.
you're a wise one.
The final test.
That's the final. This is the final trial.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
The final thing that she has to do is say, no, you can't punish me.
Ooh,
I'm a wise one.
I like
and
that.
Then
you know what?
they'll be like, yes, you are.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
No? It's
perfect.
Not that, though?
Yeah, perfect. No, it's great. Let's go with that.
Okay. Well,
it'd be funny if there's like this glaringly...
This is the worst, terrible punishment. It's so bad.
Oh, right. Let's talk about the actual point. Let's move past the why.
They're like, good. Here's your punishment.
Here's the worst thing ever.
There's a sack, and inside are black, brown, and white seeds.
Yep. Thousands of them.
And her job is to separate them into colors and then count each one.
Yeah.
And if she's wrong, they'll mix them together again and she can start again. And I'm like, how do they know exactly who did that?
Well, I mean, that sounds like one of the tests where it's like, whatever you say is wrong.
Yeah.
Or right.
Yeah. And Aviendha's flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Because this is the least necessary of all the punishments.
Yeah. So, like, other stuff she's done.
Punishments could be, yeah. Carrying water.
Mending stuff, right? Serving tea. Like, it's all helpful stuff for the people around her.
Yeah.
But, like, this is literally
just pure, like, run laps.
Yeah,
situation.
or like the move stones from here to there and then move them back, or like dig a hole and then fill it up.
It's very like isn't that what the Dat saying?
Yeah, and that's why she's like, oh my goodness, it's like they're calling me Dat Sang.
Yeah.
Like, dishonorable. It's supposed to be humiliating.
What did I do?
Exactly.
Because this is a humiliating punishment.
And it's supposed to be seen by other people. So it's like, not only have I offended like myself or somebody, it's like I've offended everyone by doing this thing that I did. So everyone should see my punishment publicly. Like, it's pretty, like, she's taking this hard.
Am I supposed to know what she did?
It'd be really funny if there's just like a glaringly obvious thing. It's like, don't you remember when she did blank?
Yes.
But I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, but like, can you just tell me like, yes, I probably should know? Or is it like a thing that hasn't really been revealed yet? I'm gonna decline to answer. Is it because she gave away the Terangriel to Elaine?
Oh, like the dagger?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to tell you.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you.
Is it the Terangriel brooch, the little turtle?
I don't think that was hers in the first place, was it?
Didn't she get it though? Elaine gave it to her.
What's wrong with that?
Well, maybe you shouldn't be wearing things that help you with the power.
No, that doesn't sound like an issue.
And incurs a lot of tow.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Okay.
That sounds worse than your other theory. Okay.
Did it happen while she was with Elaine?
It's a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
Well, you know who also doesn't know? Yeah.
Aviendha.
Okay.
Aviendha also has no idea.
Right. That's the point.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where we're going to leave it, because that's it.
Okay, so Amis runs off with the other wise ones, and Aviendha is like, oh my god, this is the worst.
I need to figure this out quickly.
Yeah, because whatever she's done, it's super offensive, apparently.
Yeah, I also don't want to count
everyone
thousands
around
of seeds. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
I don't know. Maybe they're upset that she took lots of baths.
Maybe.
Wasted water.
Do they know? Oh, wasted water.
Yeah,
How much water you wasted?
Ooh, that's the worst.
There you go.
It like smells too clean.
Yeah.
Right, like soap.
Ugh, terrible.
No, you have to smell like your own sweat. That's how
Right.
you get clean.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
Yes. Sweat tense.
Sweat tense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That's the chapter.
Yeah, that's
all
it.
that happens.
You know what? The next chapter, it's a short one, but we're gone on vacation.
I know.
So we have a very limited amount of time
I know.
to do the next recording. So
I know.
we're doing one chapter again.
Okay.
It's happening. Just go with it.
I'm trying.
Enjoy these
I'm
next
trying,
couple of days.
and everybody else is also trying to go with it.
They'll be fine. You know what they can do? They can go re-listen to all the episodes.
Yeah.
Start back at the beginning. We'll meet you back here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go join Patreon and listen to all our bonus episodes.
There you go. There's
How about
lots of them.
that? Yeah, do that. But I'm kind of excited because I get to read a chapter of a book while like on a road trip.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of cool for me. What?
Yeah.
It's really short.
It's really short.
What's the plan for the next episode then?
We're going to do an episode.
How long's that episode going to be?
Depends how long we talk about it for.
Should I read 2 chapters?
No.
What?
You get 1 chapter.
I feel like I can get you down to... I feel like you can
we
let
can
me
negotiate.
read 2.
Okay, we can negotiate.
We'll see what happens next week, eh?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Here comes
New
2024.
Year. Okay. Well, we gotta go get ready and pack, and I'm going to say that before you just blindly accept some punishments that you don't even know what you did to deserve, I'm gonna say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Adam, Mozyme, Marta Thier, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, and Gabby Young with music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us on the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 45 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join the Discord, or how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a really huge difference in helping other people find us. And tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks so much for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.